to quickly look at the COT data. It won't be a long video. These are never long videos because it's quite straightforward, and we're just looking at crossovers. So there's the Euro USD short here. So there's the crossover. Now what we're seeing is that the net non-coms, the banks and institutions, they're buying this dip in the euro, and you could probably argue it very much oversold. But we haven't got any signal to buy the Euro USD because of the crossover. Now note how the USD is strong, and it's remained strong for a while now. So don't forget the Euro FX contracts are negative, but we're less negative. So we have to remember, we are below zero, and we haven't got a signal to buy at all at the moment. Okay, so let's look at the yen, and the yen dumped. So that's actually an euro yen buy signal, which we chopped a lot here. So yeah, I'm not sure whether or not that would be a recommendation, because it looks like we're going quite risk off this week because we're going to FOMC. However, from a COT perspective, this would be a euro buy, a yen short situation. Okay, so bit of a mismatch there. I wouldn't probably recommend taking that, but these are the bank's positions, so there is that. Let's take euro off, and we'll look at the pound, and we can see how the pound's done in pretty much in free fall with the yen. So there isn't any pound yen signal there. It's mixed. Really sold it. So that's the pound. So that's a surprise. Let's look at Aussie. And Aussie just sort of ticked down. Not much. It wasn't as aggressive as this. They really sold the yen, but they just sold the Aussie slightly. There isn't anything to be said there. We want to have something going up. We want something going down. We don't want something that's both going down in tandem. That's not something we want to be trading. I'm not sure about euro yen, to be honest with you, at all, but it might be a surprise. Gold, we'll look at gold quickly. Yeah, downward calm. Probably going to break that low. I did say this was probably a fake bounce. It looks like it is. You can just go back to a couple of weeks prior, and you can see I was saying how this could have been fake, and this was like a dead cat bounce. Take gold off, and then we can wrap up shortly with Kiwi, and then we'll look at the Swiss franc. New Zealand dollar is negative, but it's just ever so slightly negative. It won't tell me the information. Minus 5,000. So it's negative, but fairly stable, I guess you could argue. And then you can take Kiwi off, and then we can look at Swiss franc. Just pretty much similar, isn't it, really? Steady as she goes, but negative. So note that the dollar is strong. I was saying how we could maybe have a signal from the dollar CAD. So let's have a look at that. Look at CAD. No, there was no crossover. So I was thinking they might have bought the CAD Canadian dollar, but they didn't. They sold it. I was thinking we might have had a signal from that, but we haven't got a crossover at all. They sold the CAD. They sold the dollar, but ever so slightly. 361, 356. There's less than 500 contracts that are sold, so quite strong still. Yen is the notable mover, and the pound is the notable mover as well. And just to be careful, because we've got the FOMC on Wednesday, we've possibly got one whole basis point interest rate hike, 100 basis points, and then we've got the Powell speech, and then he's going to have to try and worm his way out of it, and the market's going to be very turbulent. I think we're probably going to be quite risk off, and you could argue we need a flush out because of the sentiment, like you can see in the risk calculation. So we might need a flush out on Wednesday. So we're going to have a very difficult week, so be careful. Typically speaking, the dollar could perform well looking at the COT data and look at the fundamentals. However, it might all hinge on Powell's speech, and the dollar might dump. So we have to be careful. Trade carefully, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. So just be safe.